will see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. To see all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mixed up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Alright, let's see if this is going to work. Can I get a hold of an old friend? Perry Strong. Let's see if he's here. Are we?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's a little choppy.
Ooh, what's going on?
Let me shut down some things here. And
Did you do a fresh reboot today, my friend?
did I do a fresh reboot?
Yeah, you gotta start. You always restart before you do anything. Your IT friend, I'm gonna be like, does anyone be talking to someone? All right, did you restart your computer? No. Is it plugged in?
Yeah, I know. I can't even imagine what it must be like for people at that, like that's their gig, is to deal with senile
Fuck
people that are plugging in a computer for the first time in their life. Like that's like you may as well be doing. Well, let's just first of all, welcome to the Safe Word Podcast. My guest on the show, Perry Strong, in the house. We've been playing a little phone tag.
Yes.
Dude, like, I don't know what, like, just on a global spectrum, what's happened in less than a year. Like, we thought we had some bullshit the year before. And
Nosedive. We're nosedive.
you know, and like, dude, I never thought, like, look at, I had a kind of 3-act thing that I had in mind for my career. Like, I was gonna, be a comedian in Canada, a touring comic, and then I was gonna try and get good enough to maybe get interest into maybe performing in other places in the world, and then eventually end up. And the third part of it was to either live in Hollywood,
Right.
or Manhattan. And that was where I was going to live and die. And now I'm sitting here in Texas, a state, and I'm thinking about cowboy hats. Like,
Hey, listen, it's crazy where life will take you, my friend. I'm sad. I'm sorry I didn't hit you up when I was in Austin. I didn't do. I locked. I think you got there after I left.
I'm only here for 4 days.
Oh yeah. So I've been back from Austin for 2 weeks.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
It's
the city
it's
is
chill.
How nice are the people?
Yeah, everyone's sweet.
Dude, I had to call Canadian. I had to call half a dozen of my family members and I said, you know what? We had this kind of polite Canadian. Austin is a classier joint than anywhere I've been in Canada.
Really? I wouldn't think that.
The courteous, listen, Maritimers on the east coast, closest side to England, but you can't understand them. They're speaking English, but it's fucking Gaelic and inbreeding, all fucking pushed together.
Delicious.
And you get some thick white fishing girls out there that arm wrestle for whiskey. And you have to play that knife game on the table with them.
Oh fuck! No, I don't want that. Maybe to get the ass, I'll let her play.
She's tickling your balls with her foot. and doing the fucking machete over the hand. Yeah, these girls do not fuck around. They pull rope all day with their fish, with trout caught in the nets.
No gloves.
No gloves.
This is rough.
Yeah.
Rough. That rough hand.
Hand that looks like Rosie O'Donnell's clit. Like just beat, punched out, Stallone. Let's get down to it. So
Yeah.
I thought it was our first meeting was our second meeting, because we kind of ran into each other. We were both in a kind of terror.
Wait, which time are you speaking of?
Okay,
There's several. I was in a tear fucking for 12 years a slave.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I know. I was on that chain gang too. It sucked. It was rough out there. It was rough. We passed each other like two ships.
Oh yeah.
Over
No,
a
we
sn-
never really had. Did we really? I don't think we ever had a proper go, like a proper night where we started.
Oh,
and
your
finished.
birthday in New York.
Oh God. Okay, never mind.
Yep. Your birthday in New York. And was that before or after we ran into each other at the parlor? Or was it the same night, the Improv, and then you said the parlor or something? I said come over or something.
Oh, so the first night we ever met was I was in town. I'd only been doing comedy, I think, for a year or two.
And it wasn't New York?
And no. We were the first time we met. It was in L.A. We
Okay.
both did the Improv, and everyone I saw like part of your thing, and I went out to smoke, and then my friend was like, "There's another crazy person like you on stage right now." I was like, "Oh, he's even crazier." I was like, "Oh God!" And then it was like, and then we talked, and then you left.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think we exchanged
went to the
some.
parlor, and you were there. Or actually, I think my homegirl, who I mentioned last time, I think she drove you to the parlor in her Corvette. I think you had you might have won that night. I don't know.
What was her name? Oh, let's not go down this.
Yeah, no. We don't want to do that. I'm so friends with that motherfucker.
I got girls sending me pictures with cigarette burns on their faces and stuff. I don't need any more heat.
You're cutting in and out. I hope your sound on your side is okay.
Everything's rocking.
Beautiful.
But I remember you had me on a great show, like, because I think we talked about Giannis and a couple other.
Yeah.
I think that was it, and so on. And then you were in LA, and I knew you coming from the New York comedy scene. You were like looking around, going, "What the fuck is this?" Like, and I'm like, I can't tell you. I'm an East Coast guy too, and I've been there. Can't remember how many years ago you were there for that parlor show, but 7 years ago?
Oh, wait. The parlor. Okay. I'm thinking of. Oh God, that's even way late. Oh God, yeah. Was it the really bad parlor show?
No, it was good.
The really good one. There's a few. Honestly, I was such a drug addict. I don't fucking.
It had its dips and stuff, but like fucking Chris Rock was there doing his Oscars rehearsals for his monologue.
Yeah.
So
no, listen. I've been there, and it was like I've been there, and it's the best show one of the best shows I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And then I've been there, and it was like. This is worse than any open mic I've ever been to.
Yeah, because there's 15 actresses on there with 12 of her cunt friends, and you're knowing they'd get booed out of the bar and anywhere in New York. Girls would beat them up. They'd get beat up. They would get beat up by women in the audience. That's how fucking crazy. Yeah, no.
That is the problem in LA. It's all the actors.
Not anymore, buddy. Not anymore.
It's really crazy, man. I mean, when's the last time you've done stand-up? It's been a full year as of last week, a full year.
No.
I stopped before the pandemic.
Dude, I must have had a horseshoe up my ass. Combination of things is I knew that I was going to be out of the U.S. for 6 months just because of the climate in the whole world, that I may as well sit in a country that family, healthcare, that my life expectancy goes up. Artistically, I'm in purgatory like the rest of us.
Right.
But crossing the border at Hollywood, it was a move. Yeah. And I wasn't gonna grind out at Hollywood and high. I was living behind the Man's Chinese Theater on a condo there. It's literally 1 block over from fucking Idiotville. And saying to myself, I know I have to go back to Canada. Vancouver's going to suck because it's going to be wet.
Well, they're open, though. Vancouver's open.
Toronto, Ontario is getting full lockup right now, man. Like
they're bad. Toronto is bad. But Vancouver, my homegirl's out there working on TV shows. She's like, I have work for the next
Asian
year.
People,
there's nothing stopping.
Asian people take direction seriously. Rules and regulations.
Bless them. God bless them.
Plus, they've been doing with how many? The last 30 years we've been seeing film and documents, newses. Dudes, those fuckers are been wearing masks for 20 years on subways.
Mask game has been immaculate.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever you got, I don't want it. I don't want whatever the fuck you got.
And they know that they're so edged together in a densely populated city. I don't know what the ratio is. If it's anywhere an inch above New York, it must be like anybody who's ridden public transit in Manhattan during rush hour knows that you can. If this fills up with water, we all go. God,
I've had that nightmare.
All that. There was when I lived in London. There was a bombing in King's Cross, I think it was, and just all those medieval fucking dragon tunnels. There's some exits and shit, but when you get a bunch of people going purge, you're stepping on babies' arms, kicking old ladies, throwing kids. I throw like a baby stroller through a window to get an axe to kill the rest of the family. And you get to eat all the Instagram models you want. Yeah, listen, but you've been around chaos to know, some people just gotta go. You can't. The drowning people, they're just that guy's he's going. Please don't shoot me. No, run.
Yeah. You just went on a whole. You just went on this whole other adventure. I'm like, yes.
No.
We need less people would be good. Hey, the full-on purge. I'm not ready because this is the problem in New York. We have no weapons. Look, if everything goes down, let's say right now because of the $600 stimulus thing, let's say we really wanted to go make because these politicians here don't value our lives. Say we wanted to show them that it's like, okay, you don't value our lives. We're not going to value yours, and we wanted to go pull them out of cars and buildings and pop them.
Oh yeah.
We don't have guns. The city people, we don't have any fucking guns. The purge, I'm getting killed, dude. I got a knife.
But if there's anything New York knows about crisis,
right?
It's the people that really don't have a struggle daily. They live kind of rural. They have a kind of they're just doing it. Everything. They've never really had any famine or we'll call them Canadians, and something goes a little sideways and they're like, to the government. It's you were in New York during 9/11.
I wasn't. I went to LA I lived in LA before. I lived in LA 2001 to 2009.
Went there the first time in 2001. Came back in 2006 or 7. Sorry,
wow.
December 7th.
So you were here for 9/11.
No, I was in Toronto, getting ready to move to LA to New York. I was all excited, and then I saw that I got in a huge fight with my chick because she wanted to go to a shoe sale as the second one's falling. And I lost it, and I'm like, wow. There's going to be a fucking war. We're not going to Aldo. We're not doing Aldo. I'll strain.
How hot was she though? She must have had some great pussy.
You're fucking right on the money. You're reading my fucking bald head. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
So good. That's so good. I don't give a fuck what the world's falling. I got to get these shoes so I can be fuckable.
And
that's the kind of woman you gotta love.
I took her down to Queen Street and she kicked and screamed the whole way. And as she's in tears, scalding me in a crowded downtown Toronto street, a fan comes up to me and wants to take a picture while she's screaming in the background. It was a mess.
I want that photo.
I want that photo too. That's a Christmas card. It was like, oh, and her face when she cries, her face would blow out like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. Like the dimples would come out. I don't know, some
Right.
sort of hyper allergic emotional chemical thing. But she would have almost an allergic. Oh God, what are we
The
going
ugly
down?
cry. She had the super. There's some people who, when they cry, one of my friends started crying, and I was like, "You have the ugliest fucking cry I've ever seen," which made him cry even more. But then he laughed. But it was like, "Wow, you look terrible when you cried."
Snot, like a ball of snot bubble. You know,
the
this
bubble.
stuff. Yeah.
It's like the size of a tennis ball, and it won't pop because it's so thick and viscous.
I don't even know how to cry anymore. The tank is empty.
Oh no, I cry all the fucking time, man. Really? I mean, how many? So I think you've gotten your life together sooner than I did. I still have a few more. I'm still working through. I'm still like getting over.
Yeah, you
I'm like,
didn't you beat cancer?
I beat can't. God, it was 2018.
You were busy.
2018, 2019. Yeah, sober 2017. But there's still a lot more tears, bro. My mom didn't love me right, dude. I'm all fucked up.
I know it's crazy. I'm coming up like New Year's is going to be 4 years of no booze.
That's beautiful, man.
I don't miss it any of it though. You know, going out to Europe, swaling beer is fucking awesome. It's an adventure. Like
Right.
old in any of these small town, and every time I get off, they go, "Well, there's a gig on a Wednesday. It pays half of what you get on a weekend, but it's in this fucking medieval town." And I'm like, yes, I'm from
awesome.
a shithole city to go and I get to go, but you got to walk through an old castle ruin to get to your hotel, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy. You know,
Yeah.
the first time I come out of the train station in Edinburgh and looked up on the hill and saw a castle, and I couldn't help but like look and think, go like, no one is staring at this. I'm looking like a total tourist. I'm gonna get robbed. Gawking. Yeah.
Staring with your mouth agape, just sitting there like, oh my god, this is amazing.
This is the same way as staring up at the high buildings in New York. Like, there's nothing
Right.
more
Yeah,
annoying than a tourist with a map open, looking up in the rush hour. Yeah, I had
Dude, I still do that. I still do that in New York.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's awesome.
outrageous. Now, are you in Brooklyn?
I'm in Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You're in Brooklyn. There's a girl out here from Brooklyn. Yeah, she kind of reminds me a bit of an Eleanor, and she's got some swagger. Like, she talks with a fucking. She's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is a girl you're talking to?
Yeah, no, not at all. Just a comic. I went.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm poking around I'm in Austin.
Right.
Everything's been decimated. There's a pulse in this city. There is a comedy scene. There's a half a dozen open mics.
What's that place? I keep seeing photos from Stubbs. Chappelle's there. Rogan's there.
Dude,
Stubbs.
I heard Dave's got an 80-day residency agreement for next year.
Amazing. Stubbs?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw the photos. I was like, "What the fuck, man!"
And
I'm gonna
then-
be out there. I'm coming in February. I'm coming back again to Austin.
Perfect. Stay for a minute. You know, I know you. And first of all, like, what a an amazing city. Like, it's got a little bit of everything all over the place.
Right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, dude, I liked it. Oh my god, the first time I went out there, I was working as an AC on a movie called Drop Dead Sexy, not Drop Dead Gorgeous, because that's a real movie. Drop Dead Sexy, it's some ghetto shit where it was like Weekend at Bernie's, but with two dudes and a really hot model, the dead model that they're carrying around.
That's funny.
It's really bad. I was drinking a lot. I think I actually got fired. I don't know. I slept with the hottest girl ever. I was drinking all over. I had the
Is this
best
like-
time. I don't really remember it. I don't remember a lot. I just remember being like, "This is the best place." We kept saying it. I got a girl called. The girl that I slept with called me months later. Said called me a year later. Said she had HIV. That was a first. That was just
Whoa.
and I had a naked broad in my bed.
Whoa.
that I just brought, that I met and brought it home last night. So I'm like this on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Yeah, uh-huh. Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm going to have to get back to you on that matter. Hold on. Girl, in my bed, you got to go. You got to go. We got to bring you home now.
I think I just murdered you.
Obviously, I'm talking about this because everything worked out.
Yeah.
But that's my first trip to Austin. My first. It was amazing.
Oh, I thought I had AIDS for 2 weeks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. That sucks.
It goes so dark in your mind. You like the whole movie plays out on how you're going to finish life.
Well, and not only that, it's because of it's at the root of it. It was betrayal from somebody I cared about, and that was a way of finding out that person had been cheating on me. It was like, yeah, there's a whole thing, but I remember thinking. Anyway, I can't even. You know when you're like a respectful person and somebody doesn't give you that same courtesy,
yeah.
And now you have to burn down their house.
She disrespected. It's time for arson. Oh no!
So you go back. You come out to L.A. We hang out for a minute, and then I come out to New York, and I do your birthday party.
Yep.
And then I think shortly after that, you'd gotten sick, and then, we'd always kind of kept in touch, and anytime I was in New York, we'd meet up and what have you, and I was even considering moving out there, and I think I stayed I took a second run because I got a really interesting hookup in Greenwich Village. I had an apartment there.
Right.
I thought,
I remember. Yep.
Next to living in Berlin or something for the summer, what's better than Greenwich Village?
That's really nice.
Yeah, it was sweet. I got to kind of put my toe in some Scorsese-isms of New York. Greenwich Village still has got it going on.
Of course, that's the best. That's really. You're right. I mean, that's especially as a comic. There's no better place to be.
Yeah.
No better place.
When I pulled up Google Maps to see what comedy clubs, I'm like, all of them are within 30-minute walk.
Right.
Of that location.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I love the idea of just like you could literally step out your door and you go to those bodegas. I'd only seen those in movies, so now I'm submersed in this New York. Wow, and it was like, you get that. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I've had a taste. I had a couple of SNL auditions, and I had established myself as a working comic, and I'm in New York, and I'm like, wow, I'm in a book. This is crazy. Like, everything's cool, and it's very American, yet it's, what is it, the word cosmopolitan?
Cosmopolitan.
I just love the authentic, like, almost to a stereotypes, like just ringing true after another. I'm just like, that accent there's real people like this,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This
place is real as it gets, man.
Yeah, like that Brooklyn accent, I think Dice kind of popularized it, and
De Niro, Pesci, all those guys. I mean,
it's crazy though. Like when you hear them really doing it, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on?" I've seen this in so many movies. Like these characters are larger than life. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Like just on street corners, you've got to be very interesting to be noticed in New York.
Right. That's the truth.
To stand out, you better be batshit crazy or super hot. Super talented. You got to be super duper survivor too.
Right.
Anybody who's lived in London, like that's pirates. I don't know what New York is. That's some sort of like same kind of dense. People are coming in and out of that city. I was like, coming from Canada, I was being in Manhattan, walking around, seeing these huge fruit stands. Like you guys had everything, but I'm like, where are they growing this shit?
Right.
My friends, like, they bring this in every day, and it sells out. Like, and I just,
Upstate, baby.
I could walk to orchards and, from my city. Anyway, it didn't stick. Dude, I couldn't stand, like, living in, like, $5,000 apartment that was the size of a shoebox. Like,
that shit is terrible. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't fucking live if I'm lucky. I have a rent stabilized apartment that my family moved into in '79. I got 1,300 square feet, massive. For New York, it's massive.
what year did they buy it?
Huh?
What year?
No, they moved. No, it's a rental.
Oh,
It's
but
just
they
a
moved
rental.
in the
God,
70s?
I wish. I own nothing, my friend, except the contents of this apartment.
But that's real estate in New York. Like, if you've got
Right.
it rent controlled, you pretty much own $1 million house by having a lease.
Well, see, this is the thing. I still got to go to fucking war with my landlord because I still have the lease. It's in my mom's name, but I'm adopted. Her last name's different.
Oh.
The landlord's racist. She's like, because my mom's Italian woman. I'm biracial, and she's like, that's not your real mother. She said that to me a week after my mom died. I almost grabbed this bitch by her wig and fucking knocked her out. I was just like, I just had to walk out and be
But
like,
that's New York.
That's some New York shit right there.
Fuck, that's cold from a lady.
Right, but this is the thing. I'll never lose this place. I have I went to school across the street.
Yeah. You're
But,
deep.
but dude, I am so fucking lucky. I have a cheap ass big apartment. If I didn't have that shit, fuck New York.
Yeah.
Fuck this quality of life, and I'd come live in Austin. Shit, I like a girl out there. I might end up fucking moving out there. Who the fuck knows?
You know what? It's really not just the short time I've been here, just for quality of life. It's I don't know, man. Like, what it was like in Hollywood. Barely any eye contact. Yeah. It was like I couldn't. I came out of London, England, which was like such a camaraderie. There was it reminded me of New York, a lot of it.
Right.
But I didn't want to deal with snow. And the year I moved to Williamsburg was like 2015.
Okay.
I think I moved to Williamsburg, 2015. And I don't know if you remember around that time, that fucking record-breaking snowfall happened. And I was like, fuck New York. Honestly, and when I say record, but we're talking 6, 7, 8 feet of snow at some points.
Right. I remember that because I was just here in my crib. I mean, whatever. Look, we just had a snow. I don't leave the fuck. I buy food before the snow.
Yeah,
you
prep. You're no fool to the weather.
I mean, listen, fuck snow. You're right. But yeah, there was like a nor'easter. I think there were places where it was like here. It was like, I think we broke a foot, but it was like, your shit got fucked up. They couldn't take out the trash. But there was other places where they got feet. Like other parts of but I remember that. Fuck.
Yeah, that was a bad one, and I think my girlfriend was falling out of love with me and all kinds of shit. It was a mess.
Cold.
It was cold. It was a real cold one.
Fucking, she's losing love in the cold is the coldest thing you'll ever.
Oh, and every asshole and their cousin would, for whatever reason, have a taxi to the airport at like fucking 6 a.m. or something that every morning. And the horns would be honking. No one had a phone in my neighborhood. It was all horns. And I was losing it. Like, I couldn't believe it. I would be in bed, awake, night after night, red-eyed, exhausted, laughing, because I'm like, everybody's an asshole.
It's the truth.
And
there's no the fucked up thing is there's no exaggeration to what you're saying.
Yeah, it's
just, you're like, oh, fuck,
yeah.
Right.
But that's what you buy into, when you're paying those extravagant amounts, you're getting the backdrop of the city to deal with as part of your rent. It is,
right.
I remember coming to the subway in Paris and going, oh, this is what you're paying for. The whole thing is an experience.
See, I'm not that well traveled. It's bad. I really got to fix that. I actually just mailed out.
Yeah, but
my
you
fucking
can. That's
passport.
the thing. Yeah, but dude, honestly, you can talk to anybody who can speak English anywhere in the world. You personally, a lot of people can't do that.
Right? No, you're right. Listen, I
You don't have
totally
any
would have
kids?
gone traveling, but there was like a decade I was in a room doing cocaine, so I didn't.
You
It was
would
hard.
do-
I didn't make it to Manhattan sometimes.
Yeah.
Let alone
No.
fucking another country.
Renew your
Um,
passport wasn't a concern. You were too busy cutting lines with it.
That's I'm cutting lines with an expired passport card. No, I actually just sent in my passport stuff last week because I was like, I did the TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
I'm trying to manifest some motion. Get the fuck, because we've been sitting.
First of all, I'll tell you this:
fucking time.
You don't have any kids.
I have no kids.
You have no kids.
45.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'll say 98% of your friends can't do any of that shit.
That's the truth. It's a large portion, man.
I would say almost if there's respectable men, they probably but that's what they okay, I'm not saying that kids suck to travel with when you're trying to have fun.
Yeah. I don't understand why anyone would travel with a child under the age of 5. Unless it's you're going to a funeral. And then why do you bring the kid? Get someone to watch the kid. Like, kids don't need to travel under 5. They're not going to remember the fucking stuff. Like,
no, and some people are just have like a gypsy DNA in them, where it's like wrap the kid in a towel, swing it over your shoulder, and just walk out into the woods. Like, there's something in certain people's bloods, but yeah, the
it's almost like fuck this kid, but not fuck this kid. Like,
first of all,
deal with it. They'll be all right.
The kid's probably going to be a little more easier with change in its life.
True.
From just being slugged around and tortured in hotel rooms, or by just like, because babies, I just remember just adjusting to the tap water in some places, like,
That's actually a big deal. That shit's disgusting most places.
Most places, not in Norway though. I remember drinking. God, first of all, I'm washing my hands, right, and I splash the water. This isn't a restaurant, splash it. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking delicious.
What? For real?
Yes, I go, this water, it's some of the cleanest in the world. And I think Iceland, same deal. Like, because it goes through so much volcanic rock. It's like full of minerals and clean as shit. It hasn't been run through a guy's asshole through a filter. It's got no butt hairs in it. Like, that was another thing, New York. It's like people were lighting the tap water on fire. Do you remember? Did you ever see those videos?
No.
Dude.
In New York?
In New York, yes.
Oh, God.
Because there's so many foreign gases and things in the pipes.
Right.
That the water's actually flammable. So there's videos on YouTube of people holding. Oh yeah, but you're a New Yorker. The pizza tastes great. I can't tell you how and why, but 99% of the pizza, you can't really get too much of a bad slice in New York.
No.
You could, I couldn't. I wouldn't know. They're so good, like.
Right.
They're so good, like, especially.
I only eat pizza at one place, L&B, Spumoni Gardens. When you come, I'll take you. It's the only, because I don't really eat cheese or bread anymore because that's you got to go from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
That's the.
What was the
spot.
place over by the stand? Not the last stand, the one before that. The one right on the corner there.
Oh. That
Tommy's?
was like Ray's or some shit, or it was like
Ray's, Tommy's.
I don't know what it was called, but I didn't like it.
No, I know the New Yorker guys. They were like the better places, blah blah blah, and I'm like, this place is great, and they sing and shit.
That's the thing. Yeah, if you were in the middle of Massachusetts and someone handed you a slice from that place next to the old stand, you'd be like, this is amazing for.
Yeah.
But for New York, you're like, oh, this is all right. Whatever. I'll eat it because I'm drunk or hungry or whatever the fuck.
It's same to the barbecue here in Texas. Like,
Dude,
they have a whole.
Go to La Barbecue.
I went to the Salt Lick.
Okay, I don't know that, but I just had La Barbecue, bro. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about the girl I saw at La Barbecue equally since I fucking left Texas. I'm like,
you're easy, please, right? You put some steak in front of you and pussy. Everything's cool.
What the fuck did you just say?
No, sorry, I haven't talked to anybody in a month.
Put some steak in front of the pussy. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, or some beef dip.
Clarify.
Some beef dip run over both holes, and then you just eat your way like one of those. What are those Yorkshire puddings?
Oh God!
Right? She's got a yeast infection.
I wouldn't want. Yeah, that's definitely. You don't want that to get in. You're more of a savory guy. I think I'm more of a sweet guy. I think.
Well, I'll tell you, since I quit drinking the booze, I've got an ice cream problem I care not to talk about.
Hey, listen, that's ice cream's a beautiful fucking thing. I don't fuck dairy, but ice cream is great.
I eat ice cream like a retarded 4-year-old. I don't even use a spoon. I just bang my head on the top of the thing until it falls.
You just bite into the side and get a little cardboard in your mouth.
Honestly, I'll take a cheese knife. No, no, I do take a butcher knife. I'll cut the Haagen-Dazs in half. I used to just go, you know what? I'll have the soy, and then I won't have to take a shit on all fours in the bathtub because I've got some sort of lactose undiagnosed IBS or some rooster tail thing.
Right. Oh.
Or just eat a fistful of peanut butter cups. And I would eat, up until being off the piss. I'd have honestly maybe a chocolate bar a year, and then I'll just go and eat like 6 of them or something. It's probably lack of iron.
No, listen.
I'm dying, is what I'm saying.
All you gotta replace. That's fucked up. When you stop drinking, man, all that sugar that you're used to taking, you gotta get it. You gotta get at least a half of it from some alternate fucking source. So you're fucking ice creaming, your candy.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I was eating Starburst, like fucking. What the fuck? I'm a fucking 40-year-old man walking around. Hey, want a Starburst? Hey, would you like some Skittles? Or what the fuck is wrong? Is this guy autistic?
Commercials.
What's wrong with this kid? Or this grown man acting like a child?
I'll tell you one thing. I didn't think Starburst had staying power as a candy on the market.
With me, apparently, I'll take a motherfucking Star. Listen, my favorite things right now are, and I quit eating red meat. But the thing is, I didn't because I still want to. I want to cheat. I want to have some Starburst, and I want a bag of beef jerky with very high salt content.
What's your favorite?
Little things.
Give me 5 of your favorite candies.
Oh, come on! Is it we're going there? Starburst.
Is
Twizzlers
Starburst
really
one?
might be the tie.
Starburst
and Twizzlers.
I enjoy a licorice.
Yeah, I don't fuck with black licorice because I'm racist.
I do if
but
it's salted. I love in Finland they have this fucking listen. They brag about it. They're like, oh, try our licorice. Try our licorice. Look, I'm more of a berry fruity person, so I'll go after the Twizzlers. But they said no. This is the real shit. And when you're in countries and they brag about their indigenous snack foods, and you have them in a country that you're from. I've eaten loads, fucking wheelbarrows of licorice, but this Finnish licorice was the most meaty, salty, delicious black licorice I've ever eaten. It was fantastic. And they have extra strong.
It sounds good.
It's
delicious.
delicious.
That sounds delicious. And I don't fuck with licorice. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. With that description, you motherfucker.
I'll get you a bag of some sort of Finnish licorice. I'll find some brands that they do international. And
sweet.
It might
sweet and meaty. I thought of some girl's vagina.
I know, black, big pulsating lips.
Moist. I was like, oh Jesus Christ! I got to get off the fucking podcast and go jerk
like
up.
Someone kneeled on a piece of bologna and some shoe polish.
Oh God.
I know. Hey, yeah, we were talking. I haven't done shows. You asked me this question 10 minutes ago. I was fortunate enough when I had to go back to Canada that I made a conscious decision to really not rely on what the governments were going to do and as far as my career and my happiness. So I immediately reached out to various underground club promoters and people who had rave style events and things, and was going to do a series of kind of pop-up comedy shows. And then a young man in Toronto started to do outdoor comedy shows on a weekly basis in a public park. Up to 1,000 people showed up in these parks. Now the city was giving him fines, and we did some GoFundMe stuff that got them paid off, and he did some merchandise. Anyway, it became a huge kind of happening, like a kind of hippie kind of. The police, we had the cops show. Listen, this is the fucked up part. I remember I got a picture and some video. I go, you guys need to document this. First of all, this is history. And my whole goal, and I'm talking to the kid who's putting on the event, my whole goal is to get you in a position to get shot in the head with a rubber bullet. I go, you're a loser. And the only reason you have a career is because I'm talking to you. And you need to die to make this all worth it, or go to jail. So buckle up. Anyway, long story short, they were doing weekly comedy shows, and outdoors people were complaining. Some people were the city tried to shut down. The cops, dude, it was pretty. It was as NWA as Canada's gonna get. Like
Right.
the cops, 12 cops, maybe more, all leaned up against their cars, all behind the trees, because it was near a university, Christie Pitt. So, and dude, honestly, it had a coliseum, like, because of the embankment, everyone sat on it, and the PA would hit, and it blew it out perfectly. I was like, sounds better than most comedy clubs. And people could come, and you could donate, and so on and so forth. All the money went to pay for tickets and fines, and there was probably about $3,000 worth of fines collectively, and so on. And they couldn't get him on the specifics because it was all about freedom of speech. They go, "What are you protesting?" Freedom of speech. We're just comedians. They thought we were like we all had dynamite done from our
Right,
pants.
you're fucking occupying Wall Street or some bullshit.
Yeah,
Not even.
these are guys that are trying to get gigs in Regina. They're looking forward to those. Okay, this is the Canadian bloodline. These guys ain't going anywhere.
Right.
And all they want to do is tell jokes because it keeps the gun out of their mouth. And there's no plan B for most of these motherfuckers. They smell like piss, barely talented, most of them, and you don't want them working at Subway. So let them do a ha-ha next to a dog shit for $5 and a beer ticket.
Right.
Um,
Oh God.
So
Brutal. I love it.
it was great. And dude, you should have seen. First of all, it's in Toronto, okay? Next to a university. 20-year-old white girls are my sworn enemies.
Oh, I love it.
So I went right into their neighborhood. These bitches, their faces.
I'm sure you
She
said
goes,
some
"You
wild
should
shit."
be ashamed." Some lady. She goes, "You should be ashamed." And I go, "You should shave." And everybody went. She's some bull dyke with a fucking Johnny Cash haircut. And anyway, it got a little hostile, but they don't know Dr. Fuck doesn't give a fuck. So we had a good run. So anyway, snow drops. I fly back November 1st. So I leave May 1st. I come back to LA. And I'd already made the decision while I was in Canada doing the shows and stuff to make a move to Austin. The writing was on the wall. You know,
What said that to you? I mean, is it because just certain people were like kind of doing it as well? So you have like people out there, or is it really just something where
witches.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
No, witches.
What do you mean? Would you throw some chicken bones on the
No,
fucking
it's some
ground?
voodoo
Came
shit.
across?
Yeah, I got some. Listen, I was told some time ago that I'd find successes in Texas and so on, and it was the if New York and LA had disappeared, it was inevitably the right decision, and then a series of events like nobody knew Rogan was gonna fucking pull up shop and go, mic drop, I'm gonna take 100 million, fuck off. I'm gonna go hang out with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
For fun.
Yeah.
And do shows. So there was Joe's influence was a third decision, I'm like, okay,
yeah.
who's the two biggest DIY juggernaut underground G's? It's Russell Peters and Joe Rogan. Those are the guys that can take the industry or leave it, and they prove that. It's kind of weird. Like it's like that yin yang spiral. Russell had the YouTube thing. It swung over and around, and Joe's picked up the Spotify spin. But it's all in our. It's all, I like to think, in our crew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's, and look at those two dudes have been good for our business. You know, people that just never really we weren't boy band material. None of these guys. You know, Joe had a very, you know, young, good-looking guy, martial artist, in shape. You know, they clearly were trying to get him into sitcoms, and did. You know,
that guy. I mean, that's the thing about him. He's had so many lives. Like he's
Yeah.
like that nigga's had more fucking chances than anybody.
yeah.
You better let him. Of course he. I'm like, yeah, he shouldn't have landed it. He's awesome. I
Well,
love
this
him.
is the
Fan.
thing.
Where you're like,
these-
that nigga got more chances than any 15, 80 people you know.
They know that he, you know, and same with Russell. Like they there's just something about them. They can't find an angle on it to whore it out hard enough because it's so genuine
Thank
and
God.
close to the heart that integrity just emanates through it, and they go, "Oh, he's just doing this." He's flat out, you know, said, "I did Fear Factor because I had bills."
Yeah.
And if I can get people to eat rhinoceros dicks out of a wheelbarrow and pay me, like as a comedian who smokes pot,
That's great.
that's like, you're like, oh, you guys built up a show that I would actually might find some earnest because you know I smoke weed.
Right. Right. That's amazing.
Yeah, and yeah, anyway.
Fucking amazing.
But Joe and just seeing ticket links for comedy shows. You know, I'm doing a gig on New Year's. I have a New Year's gig. I haven't had a New Year's gig in over a decade
In Austin.
in Austin.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now, and you know, the last gig I did was Halloween because in Canada, on the west coast of the country, they were kind of like how Texas has treated it. You know, Alberta,
Right.
near the west coast. You know where Vancouver is, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
yeah, you know what's up. They could allow 100 people in a comedy club. So the Calgary Yuck Yucks, we had 100 people at every show over Halloween weekend. I fly to LA. They're doing some nonsense over at the Magic Castle in the parking lot. And some half-hearted. No one's doing nothing. All the people with any resources left moved immediately. They were gone. Like, though I remember because I do
No,
my.
but I get it.
I would go up Runyon Canyon, and every morning I'd be coming up the side streets to make my way up to the path, and moving truck. This is like in April,
Wow.
early April. It was insane. You literally, people were leaving their keys in the door and just jetting. So I knew that no one was interested in trying to dig a well and knowing there's no water there. Like, and going by and walking past the common. First of all, I filmed all this video footage and being on Sunset Strip over by Carney's by the store that subway train car. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, of
and
course.
me with a friend, and he goes, listen, and then we stop. We go, it's 6 o'clock on a sunny Saturday, and there's nobody.
There's nothing.
You could hear a fucking bird over in Beverly Hills. Like it was hauntingly. It was the most 28 days. Like if 700 zombies come ripping around your corner, like right on cue. I was just about to shit my pants, and now I'm running. That would suck. If things go 28 days, I think you'd be great helping in a zombie outbreak, though. I think you would save a few people.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't fuck around. I think we gotta find it. We need an axe, we need a gun, we need a motherfucking bulletproof vest, an extra pint of blood.
Okay, so you got a bulletproof vest. What do you want as a hand weapon? It can't be a combustion thing. You got axe, hammer, pickaxe, sledgehammer.
You need something to push and then hit with. You need a push away.
A rake, like a pitchfork with a sword.
Pitchfork gets
taped to the-
stuck. I feel like that'll
Pitchfork
get
gets
stuck.
stuck,
You need something
and then
that's gonna you can bash to create. You need a weapon that creates distance, but then also create. It's like
Okay, well, look at baseball bat with 6 nails through it.
I mean, that's a classic.
That's a classic.
But the nails get stuck. Once again, you get stuck.
Well,
You
let's
gotta
go.
worry- you have to- I almost feel like you have to have 2 weapons. I don't know.
Well, I think it's
You have
simple.
to have 2 hand weapons. You have like one that you strike, one that you could push away, and one that you strike with. I was a fencer, so
Okay,
I'm
so
sitting here.
we're talking shield, spear.
Actually, that would be smart. You could push with the shield and give it a stab. But I mean, this is the thing. What movie are we in? If you got the Dawn of the Dead Zack Snyder motherfuckers, you can have it. You're dead. Those niggas run like fucking 80 miles an hour.
No, I'm trying to like purge it. I'm thinking a little Fury
Other
Road.
people. You're about fighting other people.
Yeah, and but some people have got this outbreak too. So there's people turning on each other, and the zombies are impending.
I like. See, I don't know. See, it's
Crossbow?
probably too dramatic. I kind of want a chainsaw.
Chainsaw's good. But
So you could just go like just a touch of the chainsaw is like that. I mean, limb gone. A touch. You could do a lot of damage. But then
Fireman's axe. That's a solid piece of hardware.
Yeah.
You know, gives you a bit of distance. But then if you don't catch them, I don't know. I think I'd just go with a fucking sword, a hard sword, right? I think a sword.
You know what I have like laying?
I dress like Snake Eyes.
I've been cleaning out my house. I found a pair of sai that I have.
Those are cool.
I have, but it's like I wouldn't want that.
No, they look better on the wall. I've never seen
yeah,
anybody
you know.
win in a martial arts movie. No one in the Wu-Tang Clan has size.
Nobody wants sai, bro.
That's the fat kid on the sports team who gets picked last. They dump out the bag of weapons. All the ninjas stand around. There's like, I'll take the grappling hook. I'll take the stars, and I'll take the. Oh, who's gonna take the sai? And then Peter walks up.
I'll be honest. I think I would take the motherfucking sai over the ninja stars because I don't know. You got to be fucking nice.
Oh yeah. No, but whatever weapon you get, you're the master of that. I do like the ninja assassin, the chain with the knife on the end. I just don't know how far I'd make it swinging a chain around. I'd catch it in the neck and fall down the stairs.
And then you'll hit a friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the girl. The last piece of pussy in the neighborhood that I'm trying to save.
You can stab her.
I'm gonna stab her by accident. And then the zombies are going to be eating me while I'm beating off because I want to come before I die.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And they're trying to eat around my balls and cock, so I'll finish. But I'm taking extra long to see who throws up while they're trying to gorge my guts out. And I'm trying to empty my balls.
God bless your.
Merry Christmas.
Your mind is filth. Disgusting. Your fucking mind, I love it. It's fucking savage. I mean, so when are you writing a horror movie? You gotta write the horror movie. I'll help you make it. Let's do it. Let's make some fucking shit.
You know what? It's funny you bring that up for 2 reasons. The second one I'll talk to you off mic, but the first one is I did a horror movie and it's out on Amazon.
Well, remember when we went to Runyon, you were telling me about that role you were preparing for.
That's right.
I don't know if we've even really talked about that. I think even though we talked recently for like an hour, I think we skipped that. So what happened?
Hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's hard, man. Like I'm not an actor by trade. You know, I've studied it. I had classes. I never really excelled in that, and a lot of it was rooted in, you know, I really had to spend a lot of time with dialogue that I hadn't written to adopt the same kind of emotions to something I'd perform on stage. And when there was simple word changes, it really got House of Cards for me. Like it was like Jenga, and the whole thing would crash down. And then now I'm coming to camera with a new beat and some music that I'm not comfortable with, and I'm around 30 people who are looking at their watch going, there's money flying right out the fucking window, idiots.
No, it's hard. It's a very hard thing.
It was very hard. And
coming from stand-up, too, it's so different. People want to make it the same, and it just isn't.
If I understand the reasons. Luckily, one of the actresses had told me, aside, says, if you weren't Andrew's friend, you would have been fired. And I go, I know, I'm a dishwasher from Hamilton. So,
Oh God.
honestly, though, the 2 months that we spent working on the movie and the whole process and stuff was outstanding. And it was a kind of a, you know, from a discussion I had following a performance in Toronto in 2000,
Right.
with this gentleman stating that I think we're going to do a horror. I knew he was a director and I'd seen some of his work, and I knew that he was actually real deal. And it was inevitable that as our careers moved, that we were going to cross paths again. And I suggested that we end up doing a horror movie together. And he kept in touch, I kept in touch, and projects would kind of come and go. You know how things go, and some things would stick. And then suddenly he's, no, we're going to do this real movie, and I want you to be a big part of it, and so on and so forth. But to be in a, I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
Instinctively, like I've never had a boss, and it wasn't personal that way. I immediately had thrown my ego right out the window and go,
Right.
this is not where you pull your dick out.
Right.
This is a union gig with real professionals.
This is not your stand up. This
No,
is someone
this
else's.
is not the green room at the Comedy Store or the Cellar. You can't
Right.
so. But yes, the movie did happen.
What's it called?
It's called Spare Parts.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that shit tonight,
I'm
motherfucker.
gonna
And actually,
send
you
you-
sent me another video, and I feel now that we're talking, you sent me something. You said what? You sent me some stand up to watch, and I didn't fucking watch it. So I'm reminding myself.
Oh, okay. I think we were talking about maybe some other international acts and stuff, but
Yeah.
I'd love to work on a more, not even a serious project, but an acting related short film or something like that. I have some ideas that we should talk about later, but
Yeah.
it's the passport thing. Where do you stand on, like, from what I understand and what's bubbling out of the toilet is that there's a vaccination that will allow you to have international travel. Now, I don't know if all these countries are going to have the same perspective on people who've been vaccinated, and how are they? Are we getting fucking wrist tattoos? Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
But are these tattoos on our DNA?
You know what? I hate to say it, man.
Is it over?
I mean, look. If let's say we're being tagged, if we're getting marked a mark of the beast, I mean, it's gone. We lost. We lost in the 70s, man. Just give into it.
These are two guys with no kids, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Look it, fuck it, we've
Fuck
had."
it, but listen, and I just had this fucking guy at the fucking gym. He's like, I work at the hospital. The vaccination's not approved. Don't get it.
Yeah,
And the thing is, I'll be straight up honest. Like, I have the acting thing going on, all that. I booked another role. They're like, we're not sure if it's going to shoot January, February, March,
Yeah.
but you booked it. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking awesome. But I'm like, my day job, technical director. I'm like, bro. I told my doctor, as soon as you can give me that fucking vaccine, I want it because I want the ability to work.
yeah. This is not life. This is not life. What we're in, like, fortunately, stand-up comedians. It's kind of like business as usual. This is the climate. 90% of us are been fired.
Oh yeah.
You
That's
know.
a wrap.
Those guys are gone. There's a lot more elbow room now. I'm telling you, it's a little more loose in the front.
Oh yeah. Listen. I think like someone like you, buddy, like my friends, like Greer and you guys, it's a good place. Like as soon as it opens up, but it's like all the
Scabs.
It's gonna be a small room. It's a small fucking room again.
Yeah. No, it's cool though, and it's a very across the board, from legends to, talents and everything in between. But it should be interesting. I don't know what the rest of the country's going to do, but there's a lot of heavy hitters down here in our field that are movers and shakers, and to see what is utopia is going to be built for the arts. It's going to be great. It's going to be another religious ground for clowns.
Listen, you got all the tech, all the tech ones.
That's right. And this is the thing, the interjection of Elon Musk is putting blue-collar people to work in a large company. These people like to drink on the weekends, and this is what I'm noticing on the weekend. There's a lot of live music here, and now there's a big
so
vacuum.
much. Food trucks and live music.
And comedy is such a low production, and there's, I don't know how many of these little, they pull down the street, I'm in this bar, and they go, what's back here? Oh, we do music here. I look in, they go, this is like the most perfect comedy room. I would shoot a special in this room. This is great. This everything. They're all over the city.
Right.
The stages are set. You know.
Yeah.
Let's just get through Christmas, right?
You know, I mean, Christmas, really, we're trying to get through this vaccine. That's why I do the stimulus. I've been so fucking angry. Actually, my plan is...
Was it really only 9? Did you, Americans, as a country, get $900 once?
So, no, we got back in April, we got $1,200.
Your video, by the way, I've watched it a half a dozen times, and I've sent it to probably 30 different people around the world. And
What's this?
your YouTube video.
Oh, thank you, brother. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because you mentioned the stimulus, but in the video, I think you said once.
$1,200 once.
Yeah.
That's it. And the thing is, that $1,200 had to last you from April till now.
Yeah.
And when I shot that video in July. But this is the thing that I did leave out, and it's kind of an omission to build up the anger. But we got $600.
It was so good, man.
Motherfucking unemployment from April to July, and that shit made all the difference, dude. That's why I made $100. I was able to have the money to make something like that. All my bills were paid. I was comfortable, but then that ended, and now my unemployment. I've been getting $160 a week since August. My bills are $3,000 a month. So I took out a loan. I've taken out 3 loans. I had $4,000 in debt when this shit started. It's 40 now.
Now that's the thing, though, and this is you're on the low end of shit list. There's some people out there. You know, they sign leases on a business a week before.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have a friend like that. They got decided at least fucking $3,000-$4,000 on their office in February, and then they closed down March 13th, and they're liable.
They're on the hook.
They're on the hook, and New York doesn't give a fuck. I know some places, probably in Seattle, something like that. Your landlord will go, you know what? Just give me half. Just give me half. You're fine. It's all cream for me anyway. I'd rather keep you in there. New York's like, fuck you, pay me. The old school fucking saying. You ain't getting out of shit. You ain't getting out. Dude, but this is the thing. The new stimulus, I just got to talk about it because I'm so upset.
Uh-huh.
So the new stimulus is a payment of $600, which is, I don't understand the number. It seems arbitrary to me. And then you get $300 additional to whatever unemployment you are getting for the next, 11 weeks. Okay, so for me, I'm going to go from making $161 a week to $461, which is a different. I mean, it means I could pay my rent, right?
Yeah,
almost, not fully.
You got the shit is just below your nose. You just got breathing room. The shit is right here,
bro. They didn't even. They moved it from over your eyes, so just enough so your eyes are out, and you can watch the world while you suffocate. Okay, it's not. They didn't make it so you can breathe. No. You still can't fucking breathe. Everyone's got anxiety. I'm like, there's the thing. I don't understand. Here's my thing. Look, if they don't value they don't value our lives, why should we value theirs? And shouldn't we be storming the fucking castle? Like, that's what hashtag I want. Storm the castle.
No.
I mean, is this the time? I mean, France already flipped the fuck out because they weren't getting enough money.
France always flips out.
And I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
Their women are amazing.
Well, this is why you guys have Texas, to keep the rest of the states in line.
Why do you say that?
Because Texas doesn't fuck around.
Texas doesn't fuck around. Texas ain't gonna riot either.
They did shut down the police. They defunded the police department here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, listen, it's crazy.
Hey, look
Black
at
Lives
they
Matter.
they
We do get riots.
defunded
Beautiful.
Texas. Austin defunded the police department. I didn't even know that. They go, oh yeah, we took. I forget how many millions they told me. I know this is somebody was told to me. I haven't done any research on this, but he says
Right.
he took me. We drove by the police station about 3 or 4 times. He goes, "Oh yeah, it was pretty wild out here a little while ago." He goes, "Oh, up front." He said you had some because you got Texan riders. When it gets bang bang, I can't imagine. No one's flinching. They grew up with that shit. Yeah, I don't know what's going.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't understand, and I don't understand how the American people right now. I mean, and I'm sitting here. I'm not running out and throwing bricks. I should be, but I'm kind of like, all right, well, this is just the dick we all got to eat right now. You know, we're all gonna eat this shit. But I don't know. I don't get it. I want to. I talked to a friend of mine. I'm gonna bust my camera out. We want to go to where like the food drives are. And anywhere where people are going for support.
Dude, you
Kinda
go down
just
to
do some
downtown Los
interviews.
Angeles. I can't even imagine what downtown LA looks like. It must be fucking horrific.
Dude, back in motherfucking June, I think I drove to like where the cellar is, and there was like all along 6th Avenue, just homeless tents. And I went there. I went in the middle of the night to buy a fucking expensive lens from someone because I'm an asshole. I was like, I can get this lens and flip it and make some money. I go and like people just coming up. Hey, you got any money? Hey, you got anything?
Yeah.
Thank God I look kind of like someone you shouldn't fuck with. I'm getting out of my big fucking Jeep, you know, and I'm just like, all right, ready to fucking brawl. No one bothered me, but it was like.
There's families that live in these neighborhoods that got to deal with that on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, I got friends who are like, yeah, they stole the kids' bikes. You know, someone rolled up on us, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, I just don't understand where it's like how they're giving out this little bit of money. How do you expect the poor to not just start robbing the rich? Like that, you're asking for an explosion of crime.
Yeah, and the looting, I don't know how effective that is. All these rich cunts have insurance anyway, and they really don't. They put it in their business portfolio that they're probably going to have 1 or 2 riots, and we're going to have to bump up our insurance, so we're going to lose all our running shoes and our flat screens this year. But Nike's going to give us a whole. They want to keep us on their budget. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and you're not. I don't know how effective it is. Yeah, storm the gates.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's really one of those things of just like, I mean, as a Black American watching, you know.
With a Star Trek shirt on. Thanks for representing because
always,
Captain
baby.
Kirk is also Canadian.
That's my guy. I'll
Do you
be
know?
honest. I think it's weird when I think back to my heroes. You know,
He
my
was
dad
cool.
was a mess. So you know, TV was the hero, and it's James Bond and motherfucking Captain Kirk equally. That's who that's who you wanted to be. But back what I was gonna say is just like I've always known as a black person what America is, but you're just like now you're watching this and you're like this money thing isn't about black or white. It's just about class, and it's fucking unforgiving terribleness. It's crazy. It's like what's 11 weeks? 11 weeks of $300 after 6 months of nothing. What? You might as well. It's like you might as well walk up to a fucking homeless person and throw pennies at them hard, and it hits them. You know.
It's a kind of a like a waitress who's waited on a table for 30 people and they tipped her $5.
Yeah.
And
You're just
it's
like,
like
oh,
we're
God.
society. We've been paying into your system because we've built a relationship with trust, and you know what our bills are because we pay them to you,
Right.
and you're going to give us a third of what it's going to cost to barely get by.
Less than a third. That's the thing. It's
Less
even
than a
less than a
third.
third.
So
I mean, here's the thing.
How long am I going to sit with my thumb in my ass before I knock on your door and go, listen, I got like these kids are crying because they're hungry. Yeah,
Right.
and my wife is driving me fucking nuts. So I'm going to put on this clown mask and I'm coming in for the safe. We're going to do some, yeah. What was
Extraction.
the Joker shit? I think a lot of people are going to be crossed between that Falling Down and any Batman movie.
Yeah, I actually just I actually just downloaded Falling Down to watch. It's
great.
the truth, man. And here's the thing, like,
Good
look,
soundtrack,
if they
too.
can only, huh?
Good soundtrack in that movie, Falling
I
Down.
don't remember really. Falling Down had a good soundtrack.
Yeah, there's a few '80s movies that. Is it '80s or '90s?
I think that's 90. I think it's
Mm,
actually like
90.
the end of the last 80s.
Yeah.
Shit. But I was gonna say, so look, what about this then? If they can only give us this much money, can we all collectively just go, look, we're just not gonna pay taxes this year?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that would be fair. Be like, listen, we're not giving you any money. Don't expect any money. Don't even ask, and we're not even filling out the paper.
And again, they're pulling this shit out of thin air. Money is just printed, but sit down. First of all, get rid of all the student debts.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
what a terrible way to come out of an education system with fucking. I remember my friend. She did 4 years. Upper middle class white girl. 4 years of psychology or something like that. She goes, I still owe $47,000. She goes, I'm waiting tables. I don't know what the debt, creditors, and some people are just fuck ups and are never going to get it together anyway and pay it off, or get drugs or mental health problems. But, yeah, there should be a squeegee, but then that affects all the economies and people's, do you want to do a whole reset, like burn a third of everything down? Like, what was that X-Men movie when he had the
Thanos, that's my nigga, bro. That's what I want. I'll be like, look, Perry. It's like when we do it, we snap it. Half the planet's gone. I'll be like, look, if it includes me and everyone I love, I'm still okay with it.
But maybe that's what's happening.
I'm going to forfeit my family's life. Just do it. Just snap the finger. Do it.
Maybe it's just a millionaire version of that movie.
What do you mean? You're just saying. Oh, okay, got it. We're doing the 1% snap.
Like we're talking like time looked at as a thread, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So the X-Men movie is as long as a fingernail thickness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your life and death, humanity is like a beginning to an end of that thread. Your his demise of humanity. Does he kill half of everybody?
He killed 50% of all living things.
That's right, 50% of all living things.
Right.
Yeah, you got to do all living things. You can't. Yeah, everybody's got to get it. It's like this viral thing, Yeah,
We're stopping this virus from helping us. This virus is here to help clean. That's why and that's why we got a bunch more on the way. Everyone's got to stop coming, and everybody, and fucking chill. You get one kid, man. That's it. One, you get one. If you got a girl, you got a girl.
Yeah.
You got a boy, you got a boy. We don't hear the bullshit.
Do you think the planet inherently has a device to kind of protect itself from being smothered?
Dude. Yeah, that's like the old George Carlin fucking bit where he's like, we're just a surface nuisance. As soon as it wants us gone, it's just gonna fucking like a dog shaking off fleas, and we're gonna be in space.
Oh yeah,
but not the way we wanted to go.
Yeah, and look at any YouTube video of any natural disasters, tsunami, an earthquake, a volcano. There's no there's no Superman.
No.
That volcano is going to bury that village like it did every 100 years since we can write that down. Yeah, no. Fuck. And that's another thing getting out of California. I don't know, 13 years. Literally almost to the day I lived there, and probably maybe about 10 earthquakes. Nothing crazy.
You went there for the big. The big one was what, 97?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wasn't there for that, where bridges were collapsing. I think the first year I was there was probably the heaviest one I got, and that was me on the couch. I thought someone was shaking the end of my couch, but the clothes in the closet were doing this.
Right.
And then I got a notice at the building I was living at saying they're coming to earthquake proof our apartment, and watched them. They had all the concrete pulled off, and realized, oh, this whole building is on stilts. Yeah. The underground parking is just above the first floor, and this whole fucking thing does this, and it's wood with these four-cornered railway tie looking things.
Right.
Oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah, this is
a fire trap.
Yeah. I actually had one earthquake where I woke up, I was butt-ass naked, I was doing a bunch of coke the night before, I was totally hungover. My bed, because it was such a piece of shit, one floor, like 1950s LA thing on Willoughby and Vine, which is just like, oh shit, I live behind a 7-Eleven, it's total like drug trap house. Dude, fucking a light earthquake made my bed slide across the room and hit a table.
What?
Dude, I ran out fucking butt-ass naked, holding the blanket. I was like, what the fuck? And everyone came out, I'm naked with the blanket. Everyone's like, what the fuck, man? It's serious, oh God. Yeah. And it was minimal. It was like another building would have just flexed and did what yours did. Our shit was like, it just almost fell apart on top of me because it was so old and shitty. But I was paying like $800 a month, you know, to live by myself. Even though it was relatively cheap back then, but it was a shithole.
Yeah, there was so many fucking people would pass quality off, which is trash. Like, that was another city. It was just like so many con artists, and everyone's trying to fucking scam you at every turn. And if you would confront them on it, they'd just sue you for strangling them. But I'm glad to be back in the U.S., in my new home of Texas. You're going to come out here, when did you say? February, March?
Yeah, February. So, my chickie's coming out the 13th of
She's
January.
From here?
Then, I'm coming out. She's shooting she wants to make a music video, so she's going to tell me what she wants to do. So I'll come out there, bring my camera.
Well, she needs a white guy with grills.
There you go.
I'll dance for the lady.
You got some grills?
I got grills. Have you never seen me with my grills?
No, let me see them.
Dude, hold on a sec.
Let me see that shit. I love it. What is this?
No, I got them. I was wearing them when like fucking 15 years ago. And then when the Suicide Squad movie came out, I stopped because it just became too much of a conversation in L.A. Right. And then a friend of mine opened up this custom jewelry store and said, listen, I'll give you a fucking killer deal. So there's all rubies.
Holy shit.
In the fangs, right?
Oh my God. Scary shit. Oh my God.
Dope, though, right?
I love it. I gotta tell you, when I come out there, I'll do some fucking new headshots for you.
Yeah, definitely. I just started training in a gym. There's an open gym here.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't been in a gym in years just because of traveling and stuff. So
you look great, by the way, man. I meant to say, you look super fucking healthy and good.
I really put in. I knew all this downtime was going to be like kill me, and when I say downtime, I mean the lack of live performance. Yeah. Those weekly shows in Toronto kept my sanity through the year in summer. But I'm going to get into some heavy physical activity, and I'll be in top form for some photos. We'll do some crazy shit or something. There's also a dope bridge out here that has fucking bats that fly out of it at night.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, we were gonna go. We were like, I want to see that.
Let's shoot some shit. Let's shoot some Batman shit.
Get that Batman shit?
Yeah, let's do some Batman shit. I'll hang upside down from the bridge naked. I'll spray paint my...
All All right. I mean, if that's really what you want, I'd rather see you clothes, but I'll shoot.
No,
you
I'm
naked
gonna
if you
spray
really
paint
need.
my dick black and my legs so it looks like I'm half bat and half man.
Oh God.
So I can
All
be,
right.
instead of
Whatever you want.
Batman, man bat. Yeah, I do a reverse. I got no powers.
Right.
I'm just.
There is a Man-Bat comic character. Pretty sure.
Is he some kind of toxic Avenger type character with a hockey stick and a goalie mask type? Is he a shit Batman?
Whoever he is, he gets no respect with that name. You know that.
Yeah.
He's-
I
he's
remember
like,
hearing.
oh, you're a Man-Bat.
There
Hold
was-
on. Man-Bat, Wikipedia, fictional supervillain. Oh, there you go.
My uncle was telling me some guy at work got the shit beat out of him by a guy with a baseball bat. So they all got called in the office because they got in trouble for calling him Batman.
That's just ridiculous.
He apparently was going through a divorce, showed up the new guy beat the piss out of him with a baseball bat, and he showed up at work just fucking jacked up, and his friends were calling him Batman. That's cold. I think it's funny.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
I tried to pull some of that shit in L.A. with making fun of people, but they get really sad.
Well, yeah, everyone's sensitive now.
The Cellar was such a, like, you know, it was a prison yard. Like the patio at the Comedy Store to the bar area at the Cellar. And when I say that, it was like, it was a gauntlet of, like, who's who and who's not.
Right. Oh God, yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah.
People like, oh yeah, dude. And it was weird. It's like sometimes you didn't know who was gonna be nice. You didn't know who was gonna be good to you that night. The same person was great to you another time, fucking terrible to you. Someone that treated you like a total fucking fuck stick, fucking comes up and gives you a hug because of whatever. You're like, this is fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, comics, you never know what you're going to get. I try to keep myself consistent enough, but some people, they're idiots sometimes.
A lot of vacillation. They go from
What's vacillation? Yeah, like almost.
to
Yeah.
swing and like manic, and then
I think they just
and then
don't.
there's always a thing where it's like if you do something cool, like people treat you like an asshole, then you'll have like a thing, you're on TV or something. All of a sudden, oh my god, give me a hug, you're amazing.
Yeah, but it's not only it's unapologetic. They're not even trying to hide it. It's like grossly stereotypical. But anyway, it doesn't exist anymore. You're gonna come out to Texas. I know there's gonna be a New York trip. I'd really like to get out to New York by, like, maybe late August, early September of next year.
Yeah, then you come listen. I have I'm renting out my extra bedroom from February to June. So if you might have a free place to stay, my friend.
Hey,
So,
regardless, we'll
Yeah.
work it out, and you'll be out in Texas. Ideally, there'll be some shows, but let's talk a little down the road and do some work while you're here in town.
yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of you, Rouse.
I'm a fan of you too, and that's what I want to round this up with is 180 seconds. People can find that on YouTube. Just Google Perry Strong 180 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's my short. 617,000 views.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been some cool stuff. I will say, and I'm going to assume because of your comedy, my comedy, like you probably have an audience that is down with some wild stuff.
Oh yeah.
My short has been definitely like this weird tester for me for like understanding where political correctness lies, because as much as there's been a really amazing response to it that's really loving.
Well,
There's
because
also
you're
been
very
another response
likable
to it
and relatable in that dialogue to yourself. People have had those talks, not to that in that narrative, but they'll take a hard look at yourself and really look at what potentially could happen in the future. And you called some of it, right?
Yeah, I called what, a Biden win for president, and then what else did I call? I called fucking the Billie Eilish's tits thing. She recently was smacking her own tits on Instagram, which made me feel great, and that's actually something that's gotten me in a lot of trouble for talking about. She's underage. I'm like, nigga, are you crazy? You think I would talk about underage titties on anything? That's a white girl. I'm a black man. I want to.
Yeah, you don't
crazy?
need white girl titty problems.
White girl titty problems. It's been my whole life.
It can fucking fuck your shit up.
But you know what? Fuck it, dude. You know what? I'll be honest. Like, you gotta. I like that you haven't. You don't change your game. I don't plan on changing mine. I'm like, it's too late to change. I'm like, what? It's like, what am I supposed to become, Brian Regan?
I want to change the game, and I think now has become more of a fruitful place to do the kind of things that I want to do. So, how can people find you?
I'm easy to find, man. First off, perrystrong.com. That pretty much has links to everything, but I pretty much, it's either my website, check out my Instagram, which is perrystrong, DOTCOM, which once again is perrystrong.com, and then I'm on Twitter, the Perry Strong. That's it.
Cool. I have a show on New Year's.
That's amazing. I'm happy for you, dude. That's fucking amazing. That's life. You're going to be living life.
No one wants to hear stand-up comedy at the end of the year. Every New Year's gig. Anyway, because it's such a unique circumstance, just everything, every day is a unique circumstance now. It's going to be a cool spot. I should probably tell you where it is.
I would love to know.
It's at the... Where the fuck is it? Okay, here it is, everybody. I'm going to tell you. It's at the Green J on 711 Red River Street, Austin, Texas. So you can go to the Green J. I'll put a link on my website, and you can buy tickets for a New Year's show. Stand-up comedy show. Maybe the only one in the world. We'll see what happens. I don't know anybody else is doing stand-up comedy on New Year's, but I will. And we're gonna make it through this winter, and things are gonna be better. We're gonna have. I'm trying to convince myself while I'm talking to you.
You're saying this for you.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, it's gonna be better, guys.
It's gonna be better. Fuck.
No.
Thanks.
I mean, yes, it's gonna be good, guys.
I appreciate you being on the show, and I'm looking forward to doing the hang when I see you.
Yes, brother. Yes, please, anytime. This is just like us catching up.
Totally. And thanks for listening, everybody. Go to all my social media and what have you, and check out Spare Parts, the movie, on Amazon Prime Canada right now, but it's going national on June 1st, which is Canada Day. And I'm releasing my special. It was going to be on Christmas. It might have been maybe New Year's. It might now it might be on the 4th of July, because I'm feeling invigorated by American culture through my move to Texas, of all places, Austin. You've been a treat. I'm looking forward to fucking up your town. And this is Jason Rouse, and check out Perry, and we'll see you soon.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.